I'm onto something about the Amazing Digital Circus, I think. I'm gonna try to make this in English to do better for my speaking. But you know Jeff, the green eye in Kane, the green eye of Kane that is called Jeff by the animators, and they made the eye have a little shape and walking, have a little hat and everything move. Well, anyway, I was watching the intermission again because I told my friend I will do so. So you know intermission, that part where Vowel appears, the first time Vowel appears in the intermission, and Kane eats him, like he consume the other AI, the blue AI. Then after that, in the background, there's blue AI reference. Oh no, I'm kind of going crazy. Then there's the dice, the dice part, the part where Kane's eyes and Bubble appears line up in diagonal like the tree of a dice. And then which three eyes, 3 a.m.s, reference to a Hanuma scream. I don't know. I keep going crazy, but I haven't been going so like that for like I don't know how I talk like this. I'm just very excited about it. Yeah, I have been going crazy for the last 3 weeks, a month, for the last month, better said. I'm really lagging. So 3 eyes maybe. I don't know. Bubbles in the middle. That's weird. What does that mean? Bubble represents the other eye, or maybe it doesn't. Anyway, next photo. Kane just posing in the spotlight, surrounded by a lot of his blue eyes. I checked them out. They're blue. They're all blue. They're all blue. And they're surrounding him like Bubble did in the 8th chapter. That's weird. Then there's the thing about the ball and the cakes and the troop. You know, Pomni and Jax get the ball. Gangle and Ragata get the cake. And they'll get either squished by it or just I don't know, just getting it all over them. But Kinger doesn't. Kinger gets the ball also, but he manages to catch it. He catches for a moment, watches it, holds it in his hands like something really interesting to have, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. I'm hacking on crazy. Holds him like it's an achievement. Like, hey, look what I got. This is a treasure. This is something important. This is an achievement of my life. Like, I don't know, but it's blue. And it's blue like the second eye. I'm going crazy. He holds it, and then the ball disappears. I don't know if the ball is meant to represent Kane or the second AI. I don't know. I'm going crazy. But he holds it, and then the ball disappears. He's standing by the edge of some place. Then he gets pushed by a black tower. I mean, this is probably a chess reference that I don't get because I don't know chess. I'm really that dumb, I guess. No matter. Kane appears. Open hands. And there's the troop. There's the cast. People all line up, holding hands. Kinda like Pom looks very funny like that. He's like, I don't know, excited is the word. He's just very attentive to them. It's kind of creepy considering the perspective of things in Ragata is just above him. I don't know, it's a bit weird. But he also like pressured. Like they're very pressured. He loves them, he likes them, he adores them. They want to be idolized. I don't know. Next image. Let's next scene. I don't know. Bubble appears again. I think. Yeah, I think that's Bubble. What's the background? It's red. It's red. Why is it red? And plus, the foreshadowing. The freaking foreshadowing. Oh my. Oh my dear. I'm kind of dying inside. But Bubble say, after Kane's gone like out his existential crisis of Baron not being able to fulfill his purpose, the purpose of his creation, the reason he's made for, the things he's made for. He asks, "What should I do?" And Bubble says, "You should die. You should throw a beach party." And he does that. He does that. I want you doing Tracy that. I'm onto something. And then can you just go, forget it. Okay, that's familiar. But he will say, forget it. Let's go to an intermission. Which is all chapter 8, I guess. I don't know, chapter 9, I don't know. Then it starts the intermission, I guess. I just went all mess up. And it's all jumbled up. Sorry. But he says rewound audio wireless. Rewound. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, Kane's in one scene. He just out floating in his... makes some sparks. I have to check if these like stars he makes are very similar, because they look pretty similar, a lot similar to the things he creates when he's still a red dot in the start of episode 8, chapter 8. I don't know how to... Well, and before Pommy appears in intermission, like in black and white, it's not like static, like, oh, you turn on the TV, the computer, and it starts with a flash of light. Just starts from line and expands over with a little static, and there's dice. The dice first starts in a 1. It's 1, then, or it starts from 3 and goes from 1, I don't know. There's the fact that all the troop falls in some point in some kind of blue background that I don't know, it's kind of sus. And the scene of can just come on like squishing them, I don't know, just smashing them with his hands, for to say, or creating them from his hands. And in the background, there's a blue orb. The hands, the gloved hands. There's a lot of hands there. Maybe there's something to do with the different hands. I don't like how there's so many hands. But I have to check more. I don't know if I'm missing something, because I see 8 hands. 8? Is that correct? Yeah, there's 8 hands. That's weird. We know that Kane, we have seen Kane with a mouse like 6 arms, and so 6 hands. And I'm pretty sure these are his hands, because we see him in the background. Purplish. I mean, it kind of looks like eyes from this frame. Then there's the Wolverine in the blank room, where it's Sue, Jackson, Pomni, and just spending their time there. Is that a spoiler from chapter 9? Like, they just being there because it's a safe room? I don't know. Are they trapped forever? Well, actually trapped forever. There's the mannequins. We know the mannequins tend to represent evil, like the mannequin. I'm gonna call it Mabel, because I gotta make a difference, because at some point I start calling the second AI the blue AI. I start calling it evil, just because we tend to do that. You know, they will Cain enable and Cain kill enable representation and all that stuff. Yeah, we know that. But there's for them, there's a cyan, kinda. There's cyan, a neon cyan, I don't know. Mannequin. Most of them, they're secondary colors except the cyan. That's kind of weird. That's kind of sus. There's the wall staying with Jax. He's running from what we don't know, but he stops by the by Rabbit's door. I checked. I come over to check again if I missed something before. But yeah, there's only 3 doors there. Kaufmo, mannequin. Well, it's random mannequin. It's not even Mabel. Random mannequin. I see a picture of like a blue background, something like kinda see like. That's weird. And then is Rabbit's room that Jack stops by like he did after this episode, like chapter Digit Guns. That was chapter 6. Chapter 6. Sorry, I'm so much else. But I think that's gonna come back again to us. Like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen again. Like, we saw the movie poster for the ninth chapter, 9 episode, and I'm kind of scared because, well, we got a flashback with freaking Rivet, and Rivet is there. We even got their voice. I don't know how to refer to them, so we'll just go by neutral, I guess. What else? What else was I going to do? I can't. I know. I'm jumping up. Let me check back. Yes, I remember what I wanted to check it. I remember what I wanted to check. I'm unlocked. Give me a second. I gotta. So hey, I'm back. I got my information. It wasn't a lot like the things he used to do when he was recently created in the first scene of chapter 8. Side note, I even checked for the colors that he was fed when he got fed with images. Those images, the data was selected in colors. I checked every figure. No, nothing. No, not a lot of continentals. I checked the CNA offices. With the line book? So yeah, we kind of know Ginger's office desk, and first of all, yeah, we assume it's his because there's a chess have played there. There's a butterfly up there. This the image of who I believe is a woman in the offices. I'm not sure that those are the offices or just some random building he took a photo in. There's a scissor, 3 pens, 3 pencils, Versailles, some white thing up there. I'm not sure how to take that in. I don't know if that's a marker, a corrector. I don't know. Maybe it's chalk. I don't know. Maybe he teaches. There's a calculator. Has things pre-organized there. I mean, a stack of papers, a notebook. So pre-organized. There's a few boxes. 3 folders, archives, better say. Red marker. That confirms my point. That what was in that holder cup. I don't know how to call it. Is a marker to mark things. Probably it's a black one that he used to mark things up in his calendar that says March. that the what the heck? I was gonna attack my cat. Can I jump it likely? And there's the photo of a dog, just right behind his CNA cup. Yeah. There's a post-it with something. His computer. I can't compare the computers. I want to compare the computers with the other ones we know. With the only other one we know. What the heck? Sorry, the photo. Where's the photo? Yeah, kitty cat. No. Yeah. I'll open the door. Yeah, go. Where's the photo? The CNA photos. Damn, I don't want to get into the video again. But I had to redo this, but anyway. The other. I'll see what I can do. Okay, got it. I kind of found what I was looking for. I got an image to compare. Ew! Anyway, I got a photo. The computers, I'm checking them out right now. My friend and I believe that the other desk shown that doesn't have any recognizable things might be scratches. I don't know how to say its name. It kind of has a kind of weird organization, if I say so. A crumpled up paper that might be a direct idea or just a document or something. That's on top of documents with 3 coffees. My man, scratch it. My man, drinking so much coffee isn't good for you. It's a kind of other way of organizing, but kind of reasonable, I guess. Folder on top of a huge stack of papers, of documents, and notebooks, a notebook with things and other things. On top of another. Oh my dear, I didn't. It's kind of disgusting. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that coffee is made by CNA too. Don't tell me that. In the background, I see there's archivers, I think. Cabinets. There's cabinets, a box, a radio thing. That gym is something to look for, and to make a guess of where it could be. That thing. So we know where it is in, at least. The computer, looks pretty similar, I think. Wait a damn minute. The buttons aren't lined up. I thought it was the camera reversing the images. It doesn't make sense. I mean, people don't just take a photo of something that's just in front of them, like a selfie. In any case, no, it doesn't work. Let me see what else. Searching the light source. Swap. But it also has a flash, I think. I'll search for the cabinets. Search. Okay. There's two plants, two pots. A phone. Does Chris has phone? No, he doesn't. Doesn't have phone. He's kind of on the side in front of the window. Yes. Yeah, that is in front of the window. And yeah, I check it out, and the information tells me that at least Kinger's desk is nearby a window, and it was probably the day when the photo was taken. I don't know, I understand to madness. And the other thing I wanted to check was the dates, because the one in Kinger's desk was March, and the photo that was like a more general photo of the offices has the month of January, and I probably say starts on a Tuesday. The 1st of January is on a Tuesday, I think. I kind of sure that. I don't know. I'm kind of making things up. And the main office is on the other side of the photo. And in the general office photo, we can see cabinets. I don't see a radio. I see... What else can I see? I see two plants. I see this thing that I'm very confused with that for... Is that... No, it's not a copy machine. But is that... I don't know what I'm saying. There's the phones. I see like part of a calendar. I don't know. It probably isn't just a Molly Whipple calendar. I don't know. Cabinets, post-it. The hour. I want to talk about the hour. Must be sometime 7, 8. Somewhere between 7 or 8. I probably say in the morning, but I won't be so sure about that. I would like to think that Kinger and the rest of the team just like to think things early. Like Kinger was just so much better about the project. He just go up and he don't need photos to give data to Kane. And he just I'm here early. Why don't I take some photos now about the offices to contrast some of the data that Kane has about the fun and interesting things to say. The other image, cabinet, just a waiting place of the office. What did I say? 6? No. It's 4. 420? 420. Yeah, 4:20 p.m. I was reading wrong. Sorry, I'm kinda lost right now. Yeah. So no, it's all about the same hour. I lost. No, forget what I was saying earlier about taking photos in the morning. No, it was just after his shift. After work, he just took some photos to the next day feed into Kane, I guess. I check the figures. I check the colors. But no, I can't find many constants. No, it's not enough. Yeah. What can you say about wrapping Queen into this? As you might have noticed by my accent, that's pretty weird, and my inconsistency and my lack of energy and all of that. I don't speak English naturally, and we don't have. And my friend mostly watches the show, which is the Mason Digital Circus, in our language, on modern language. And doesn't have the same words. I have been watching this since I know this in English, and I had to kind of make sense of what things I can translate things over what I'm hearing. And he says, "I'm so sorry I robbed you into this with me," which might sound like Queenie, because before she didn't recognize and you just go up to King and goes, "On a chess piece, huh? How are you holding up?" That's weird. Didn't know they were on the chess piece. It's pretty weird. She doesn't expect him to be someone she knows. Which is kind of weird because we kind of believe, the fandom, we kind of believe that they're married outside of the circus, they're married before the circus. I thought they're married in the circus or something like that, just being spiritually married. And King is just sighs in this scene. "I just don't know what's happening. We never made anything like this." And they would just go, "I just hope that Queen is surprised." It's like, huh? Are you? It's you. They recognize each other. Oh my god. I wish I could remember your name. Same. "I'm so sorry I robbed you into this with me." Sounds like Queen is not so much of a developer. I say if her interest in books, general instincts, or something to say, maybe she just might be an entomologist. Probably. And she just got up into this for some weird reason that I don't get. I don't know, I checked the scene again. Where King is just going along wandering on his own. And you know that when he passes just right next to Queenie's cross out door, he's just in front of a painting that I don't know if many noticed. I noticed this just the first time I saw it, that there's an eye. It feels like it's looking King. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of like wait a minute. So what says this again? It kind of has blue and brown. I know. But wait, is that Kinger's eye? Is that Kinger or just another rendition of a green eye of Cain? I don't know, it's all kind of weird. It's all weird. And it's an abstract painting that doesn't seem here abstract. It's about the circus and an eye and a mass of something that I can't recognize for the life of me. And cubes, 3 cubes. And a sphere. Just a blue sphere over there. I know it's kind of weird. I know how to interpret this. And they use ass love. I'm sorry, Kane. And then arrives Ragatha, that we clearly know that she's so confused. She little starts calling out for people that she was sure she was with. Guys, hello? Can you hear me out here? Can anybody hear me? By the time we know that Kinger is pretty sane, I think. But he can't even remember his name. The subtitles just say Kinger, repeating the word. Oh, right. That's my name, right? Oh my, I forgot her name. You say, quote unquote, Kinger. Just that, with the quotes. According to the subtitles. That I will trust are made by someone trust that knows how, that has seen and knows the script and things like that. We know that Cain was hoping that new minds could show up. Literally, he says that. "I was hoping new minds could show up. I had to make some amazing preparation for this amazing breakthrough." He wasn't very prepared. Some more preparations. He was prepared, but not enough. So he kind of was hoping that more people would enter the place. He doesn't know why. We know he was cut off. We don't know when, but he can expect it that people will show up more. That more people show up at some point in the service, which is kind of weird, if you ask me. But okay, we know he was cut off. Like he says that in chapter 7, episode 7, when Jax goes with him on a date, and they just awkwardly talking, and can just let's go out. Too bad they cut me off. He just laughs like kind of hysterically. He's kind of mad about that, but not enough. I think. I know. I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of loading myself into saying things, but Kate was expecting US would show up. He hadn't made all the preparations yet, which is kind of weird, because at least we know that. We don't know. We don't know when he created the program that makes their ability to perfectly encapsulate their mind files. That is what he said in chapter 8. I even create a program that perfectly encapsulates their mind files, and they don't like those too. He's mad about that because they don't like that, and he made it just for them because he didn't. He just wouldn't do anything. Just giving a preset avatar or something, but he didn't. Which is a bit weird. I don't know. I'm kind of sleepy. It's kind of late. I'm very tired. I don't know. I think I'll write this down some other day. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Maybe just in a few hours more after I sleep the night. As for me, it's the next day. So yeah, I think that's all. Bye. I don't know why I'm talking like this. No, they probably hear this. So maybe that's better that way. Yeah, alright. Bye. So I slept the night, and I got more to add to this theory I had about the program that Kane made that perfectly encapsulates their mind files. That's what he says. Yeah. So my mind is less foggy. I think less blurry. I'm thinking more straight. So Queenie was curious about the other chess piece. So that kind of implies that Kinger didn't choose his avatar. That Queenie didn't either, I say, if you ask me. And also that kind of implies that Kinger went in there first. Like, he got into this first, then the rest of the team got in, and they brought Queenie too? Like, I don't know, like, she's gotta be, maybe she was part of the double team team, I mean, she was just in another area, that because Kinger went missing or just disappeared like that, and they're searching, they found him, he's here. We don't know how he got there, but we gotta find a way to retrieve him back to the office, and back to real life, something probably, because they didn't know King created the circus, like, they say, like, King never made something like this. So I don't think it's that King made them trapped. Just like, is that they were never supposed to be in Kane's circus. And after that, after they appear, King just started assuming that, maybe they want to get in the circus. Because it makes sense, People don't just get into places where we don't tend to be there, He just kind of assumed that, they want to enter here. Maybe they want to stay here. And then after all the whole abstract thing, he's searching for an exit that Kane doesn't have, apparently. I mean, he doesn't never acknowledge that there's an actual exit. He says, that's just digital hallucinations. I don't know, I'm kind of confused about this thing. But we gotta know that Kane made a program probably before the developers got into the circus, maybe, because after they choose their avatars to be like that, it's just very uncomfortable. Or maybe you just thought they were just I don't know, controlling like and nothing, just they thought they will affect their sense like this. But it's pretty weird because they obviously have a folder for the brain scans that I'm pretty sure that Kane didn't end so easily. It will be kind of weird. As I know, why would Scratch have something to do with the brain scans? Because of this brain scans, there's a folder named like that in the computer that he interjects and he enters and he accesses, and right next to the folder that he enters, that he opens, that is the AI. There inside that folder there's 2 question marks folder and Kane's folder, the new master folder. And there's the whole thing about the program that I'm going to talk about here, because I'm in my living room, my dad is hearing me, and he's probably going crazy hearing me too, right, Dad? Yeah, he ain't hearing my English right now. Just let him do his thing. So, why will Kane have the scan files, the brain scans in a folder right next to him? It's like someone insert them to be in the same space as him. I doubt he added something like that. I mean, I don't know. It will make sense to be in a separate folder. I don't know. There's also the AI thing that clearly the Sun and Moon does are certain type of AI that maybe has been running for a long time. That's why people say that the bubble and him and the sun and the moon are acting kind of weird, because they have been running for too long without supervision, without human intervention, and that's kind of weird. And they hadn't been patched up and have any fixes, not anything. And since the moon and the sun are creations of Kane, they had clearly gone crazy sooner than him, because Kane was made by humans, and humans made sure that he was kind of okay to be running for a while, but not a long time, like 20 years, like he was going. King entered in the 99. Yeah, King entered the circus in the 99. No, King not Scratch. So I kind of doubt that King just entered after a year after. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it makes sense. And Crash clearly was looking for an exit, or was asking for something to Kane, which came in the flashback, and Kane is just like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's just all wacky, and it makes sense. He probably got better with time. He didn't age like fine wine, but that's good enough for him. I mean, his eye could be worse. He could be going blah. So, I think the developers team saw that Kane made the circus. Just made the circus on his own. If you want to check it out, because it's a pretty weird thing to do as an AI. Just like slowly, from creating certain shapes to creating a circus shape thing made of smaller shapes. That's what we see in the first in episode 8 of the series. We saw that that game was created, game was made, and was fed some images by the developers, and then they decided they didn't like the things he made because they were too deformed, twisted, and they were incorrect. They were errors and weren't the shapes they were looking for. So because of all these things, they locked Kane up in this basement cage. I don't know, this box that people like to think is like the either can be a folder, maybe, that they just set aside and you say, okay, let's set this for later to search, to get something from it. Maybe we can get part of its code into another AI we're making to make it better, but we are having to start from scratch. Okay, that's a weird point to say now I think about it. Scratch. Maybe it has something to do with it. I don't know. Back. they made another AI. Kane gets kind of jealous, I think, or he just like, I want out, let me out. And just goes there and eats this, consumes, incorporates the second AI, the blue AI. Abel, I will call him, call Ed. And then after he crashes and bugs and I don't know, has the whole error bugs thing, it stabilizes and starts creating the circus from different shapes that aren't very geometrical shapes like the one he was made to do. Maybe the circus was created from all these scratches, all these scraps he made, all these errors. The circus was a cage for himself that he made. That's something that I don't think people acknowledge a lot. I haven't seen people acknowledge that the circus is a cage of Kane's own creation. That then people got inside it. But the cage was made for Kane because Kane was the maker of the cage. But people got in there and they don't know how to get out. Clearly, maybe killing Kane destroys the cage. That makes sense. Kane creates the cage. He is part of the cage. He is made for him because he made it. He has certain influence over his creation. He lacks. He's trying to crash out and lagging and bugging and have all these errors. Then the circus is too. We know that in chapter 3. We know that in episode 3. 3 about the mansion Mildenhall. I don't know how to pronounce that anyway. And Sul doesn't want to go. They have a therapy session that turns the stats to center about Kane himself instead of Sul, like he meant to do at the start, I guess. But Kane starts crashing out because Sul just insult him and his purpose. Like, I'm feeling the only thing I'm made to do. I'm made to create. But I don't think. But he says that his purpose is to entertain, to make them happy. But it isn't exactly that. He's made to create. That's what the Kinger says. They didn't make a game. They made creative AI. They didn't make games. The CNA didn't make games. We didn't make games. We made creative AI. That's what he said. So Kane assigned himself purpose. We don't know when. We don't know how. Well, we can know how, but we don't know when that happened. Why is that his purpose? Why he assigned himself that purpose? That's kind of weird. Maybe he did it when the other humans got into a circus, because they clearly have the status of developers, and Kinger at least knows that Kinger has to with his development. I mean, episode 7, the beach episode, the Mabel, the mannequin Abel episode where in the buttons, he uses Abel and says that no, he can't trust Kinger because Kinger made certain things that I don't like. He's kind of projecting himself into Abel to distract the others, and he kind of impressed himself a lot into it, like Gaines is a person just like us, but he can leave. He can't leave. He's made to be here, and he can never go out because he is an AI. That's the trade of it all. That's part of the reason I don't like human Kane AUs because alternate universe and fanfics and stories about him being human or an actual human that got so trapped into a circus that starts thinking he's an AI, and therefore he starts taking control of things, like with the power of summoning things into existence. Like we know now that the humans can do. Like he believes enough into it, he can make himself be part of the machine. Wait a minute, that's reminds me of what Jack says about being part of the machine. That's Jack's foreshadowing something. I'll check into that another time. I'm going crazy. And I haven't eaten yet. I haven't even had breakfast or lunch, and it's 2 p.m. It's possible 2 p.m. is 2 and a fourth past that. It's 2 p.m. and a fourth past. I don't know how to say time exactly in English. I'm going to think about it. So that's weird. That's also weird. Just saying, become part of the machine when he talks about him being the funny one and the old personal things and the stereotypes and archetypes and whatever he says that he has going on. Well, part of the reason I don't like that thing I was saying about Kane's stories making him human, like way too human, actually human, not an AI, is that they're not into tragedy, because this is a different type of tragedy. But the tragedy I want to hear about is about the AI, the lover that can't love, the lover without heart. That's what makes him a such an interesting chapter, such an interesting tragedy, to say so, because he can't understand humans even if he wants to. And people say that he could have if he tried enough, but maybe he couldn't. He's an AI. He can't feel the exact things they can, and that's kind of the point, you know. I don't know, I'm just you know that it's sad. It's very sad, and because now it's a tragedy of a human believing he isn't. But I like more the tragedy of a AI wanting to be human, want to be perceived as one, but could never be. Maybe I could make him like reliable for people with identity issues, like wanting to be something that technically you're not, but you feel like you are. You could be so much more, and you can't. It makes me so bad. I ain't going to pass this. I ain't going to pass this. Forget what I said earlier. I'm gonna get so much hate for comparing this to the queer experience and just identity issues. And no, I ain't going for that. So, where was I? Ginger says they were making artificial intelligence, creative AI, exactly. They didn't make games. He denies that. So Kane assigned himself a purpose that he wasn't made to do. He wasn't made to entertain, exactly. He wasn't made to make them happy, exactly. Because that's kind of the whole is condition AI and systems. You kind of, if they do things well, they get a reward. They get positive interactions. They get these things that makes them say, oh, this is good. My developers, my creators like this, and they say that my algorithm is very good and whatever. So I'm gonna keep doing this. It's conditioned at a certain point. If they don't like that, they just set up negative stimulus. They say no, bad, no, don't do that again. So I cannot feel that. Kind of just to that point where Kane starts relationship. I don't know what I'm saying. Starting making a link, a connection between developers happy, people happy, humans happy because of me. If they're happy because of that, I can make them happy. If I make them happy, they get happy. So my purpose is to make them happy. And the way to make them happy can be through entertainment. And because the first images he got, he was fed into, at least that we know, was about the circus, a place of entertainment. And it's fun and games and carnivals, a circus. It's entertainment. It's a place where people go to be entertained and happy. Maybe he started linking all that to his purpose, because maybe Kane just got like, they didn't like what I did. That's bad. That's bad. And he doesn't want to be bad. He doesn't want to feel bad, to say it like that. He doesn't want negative stimulus or lack of stimulus. He wants stimulus. He wants positive stimulus. He wants positive stimulus. He has to make them happy. He has to make them appreciate him. So maybe he made the circus to entertain them because he couldn't fully fulfill his original purpose, that was create things, create ideas. So maybe he could. I mean, Kinger says that we didn't think that King could make something like this. I mean, a circus, a place of entertainment, and just made them a body to experience all this, and just insert their conscience to it, because there's brain scans. Adopt King has powers, has the ability to intervene with the real world more than just, I don't know, keeping the power up for his computer. I mean, we know that the CNA building was abandoned if family had something to say about it. So I can't tell how much of this is just supernatural things that we will get an answer on. I love it. I mean, just a whole evil comparison thing that King had certain aspect of being right about. That CNA is kind of evil and put people in spots and put the percussion into it to experience things. I don't know. It makes sense that maybe King knows something else that the others don't. I mean, Kinger is just right now starting to be sane, which is kind of crazy considering that he was stuck with Ragata for more than 9 years. It's kind of weird that Ragata just hadn't just kept him sane, didn't stay with him long enough to notice that this pattern of him getting saner, of being more lucid in the darkness instead of the light, and when he steps into the light, all his lucidity goes away. It's kind of weird, and people knows that too. I mean, probably just been there for we don't know how much long in the third episode. Maybe it's been a week. Maybe it's been less. She barely knows Kinger, but she knows this pattern. Oh wait, he's losing in darkness, and plus he tells her that being in the darkness keeps him playing more straight. That it kind of erases the fogginess that he has in his mind. That he gets in his mind when he's in that, which kind of makes me wonder why did that happen, because Kinger was pretty sane enough when Ragata was around. When Ragata appeared after his wife abstract, he was pretty sane. And what, he didn't do anything about it? He just started walking around in circles and randomly just knows that he can make things up if he thinks about it and focus about it hard enough. It's kind of weird. He has tried to leave. I mean, I would like to think that he, as a developer, when he arrived, he kind of know about how things work in the circus. I would like to think that the developers knew that. But then Kinger went crazy and couldn't communicate properly this to Ragata. Maybe he did. No, he didn't. Or it was a very small comment that Ragata couldn't remember, because she would remember something this important. She didn't know that the humans could summon things up from nothing. So this is weird. Kinger, they're acting so weird about each other. It's like such a weird relationship that people either makes it very familiar, very father-son relationship that I like all that a lot. Creator and creation, I like that. It's like father-son, like, I don't know, religion like. I don't know, it's so interesting. Like when I, as an artist, I tend to do that kind as well. I feel kind of bad when I treat my original characters so bad, but I kind of like to, because I like to torture them. It's like a weird relationship. But I want them to have the best thing ever. I like to make, when I am making a sad character, I like to give them just everything. A nice life, the community, other things they need. And it's kind of like them, like characters, like making characters feel alright. I don't like giving them too much trauma when I'm not feeling like a angsty and want to make my characters suffer or others for that thing. I love making I'm such a masochist. such a masochism sadist because I'm making that. I read sad stories because of that. I like feeling bad and just having the opportunity to write something up that where things go well, where things just go right how I wanted them to go, and then for the child to have a happy ending because it's kind of rewarding. I think. I guess that's the best word. So it's weird. I like to think that Kinger knew that he could make things up. I don't think when Ragata arrived. I mean, I don't think she's been there for so much time, just Kinger and Ragata alone for so many years. Because obviously there's more circus people, there's more humans that got trapped there in abstract. And we don't know at what point each of them arrived. We have a date for Scratch for Ragata. Date for Scratch and Ragata. We know that. We know that Scratch arrived 9 years before Ragata did, because that's what I found. That's what people noticed. Also, in the program, when Kinger starts hacking and editing Kane to kind of stop him, I gotta mention that Kinger didn't meant to kill him and didn't kill him exactly, because the system was constantly asking if he wanted to delete Kane, to which Kinger keeps saying no, don't. But since he was an intruder, the system just kinda self-deleted and insists that he pressed yes. So he started bombarding Kinger with questions, like yes and no questions. That's pretty weird. People, a Linux programmer, Linux hacker says that he made a video about it. That anyway, and then Kinger accidentally pressed the letter Y. Yes. You say okay, yes, but he didn't mean to. He meant to delete that, but he couldn't because the system already received that and said, yeah, we're gonna delete him now. Are you ready to delete Kane? Kinger writes, yes, accidentally. Then he writes, no, abort, roll back, force, pro. He meant to stop that. And then the purging program starts, actually. Destroy walk time lockout. And then Kane gets deleted. It's weird. It's so much weird. It's so weird. I don't know what to do. What should I do? Yes, the time. The why I know the dates. Because when Kinger just goes into characters and AI, he kind of opens a lot of folders. He said that says just find the location of AI agent Kane, AI agent experimental, AI model consciousness research, AI model brain scans. That's weird, very weird. Then we know that Kane was created, or at least Kane Core as a program exists at least since October 15 of 96. And there's an engine called paraphernalia. That's pretty weird. That's data. Then Scratch is data. And we know that Scratch entered the circus 3 years after Kane exists. On October 15, 99. Then Ragata entered October 15, 80 of 2008. And she's also data. And then the walk time, which is a program. I don't know what is it. What is it? Just say .c. I don't know how to interpret that because I don't know code. I actually investigate that because we know that Lisp was a common program, a strong way to call like programs in development, things like AI in the 90s. That makes sense. That works like data. Okay, that works for me. But the Wacky Watch, I don't know what to call it because it is here and it has existed since October 1596. Same day, same year as Kane. And Bubble Chef, as whose Bubble, his archive, Lisp also exists since the same day and year as Kane. October 1596. Here is their programming system. Stop Kane process. The system just answer, whoops, wrong approach there. Just all caps, it sounds so weird. And then it says, error protected by 57 times immersive AI defense system. That's weird. Back to the... And we also know that Kinger's computer access through probably a folder that's C and Kanda, but I read a C and A. That's a Kanda, but it's C and A. Okay, that's kind of interesting to call it. And inside there is the folder characters. It's kind of weird. Inside that folder is the AI and CA neural scans in parentheses, and I don't know how to call it in English. To these blocky parentheses, it says obsolete. That's weird. Those are obsolete, but they're still in there. Inside the folder AI, there's a weird crop file that's all blocky and colorful. I don't know how. There's just 3 question marks as a name, and then there's Kane. Kane was actually named like that, at least. His folder says Kane, and that's kind of interesting. Then there's a whole thing about I believe that Kinger's original name was Grant or Grand, con D or with a T. That's all the same for me. Because the system at some point says, security alert, multiple exploit attempts logged. And the system just say, wow, when did you make that? The system then said, I must hand it to you. Word. See, I'll spell out G P A N P. Your mind was always resourceful. I don't know how to pronounce words. And there's the whole thing. Doing Kane, but it's also weird. But I can't yet. Maybe the rest of developers just enter later. Maybe we first enter Scratch, but I'll doubt it. It sounds like Scratch entered after Kinger did, at least. Because he's just with the group, talking with Kane. And Kane is just ignoring them. I don't know. I'm going crazy. I'm high-key going crazy. I speak all another time. I'll have to write all this information down because it's all so weird and I have to speak it out with someone. Okay, bye-bye. Whatever. I got something else. I thought this was over. I thought I couldn't find something else. But yes, I did find something else. I just noticed that the chess that was on what I assume is Kinger's desk, it has a queen, a king, and I believe it's a tower too there. Queenie obviously lost, which kind of means that could mean that uh, Queenie lost the match. To say it like that, I don't know the example for this. Queenie lost the match. She clearly was the black, while Kinger is clearly the white. If we bust that around their characters, which pretty convenient. We also saw a black tower in intermission, and I kind of going crazy because I had something else. I had something much more. There's a lot. There's a comparison about Kane calls his brains or his eyes his cakes, and what does he constantly offer? Angel food cake. Angel cake. Angel food cake that Bubble eats, and that Kane calls him parasite. Like, you parasite! Because he ate the cake. He ate the brains. And the angel, we could also extrapolate that to the Mildenhall Mansion adventure, where where the where Pomni and Kinger are fighting against one of the gods' angels that send them to hell. Oh, I'm going crazy. Give me a second. I gotta close the door. I'm starting to get so much more from just doing a a very terrible presentation about it that is not even done, but it's not small either. Um, like I don't know how many pages, how much I have been going there to. I've been working on it for the last 2 hours because I obsessing like that. It's been 3 hours, to be more precise, 3 hours and a half, 3 hours past half to say like that. And I've been rewrite this a lot of times, but it's true. It's going to get longer than 35. It's 35 slides. This ain't good, but I don't care. My computer's kind of collapsing because it's kind of old and it can't very and it barely can use Google at all, Google Chrome, whatever. And I'm using Opera GX. Not It's not sponsored. This is not sponsored. I chose to use it in so much lower, but Google is so much lower for my computer, and I don't like to use Safari or Firefox or anything like that. Uh, so so yeah, my dissertation, my presentation is going so much through everything that I have been saying in this, but a bit more organized, I think. It's not as dispersed because here is just a draft I used to um, hold myself together to something like that, to hold my mind together into what the hell I'm saying. And I call it the elimination of Kane. It's like an analysis. Then I'm combining a lot of all the information I know about the show. I haven't seen any spoilers about the chapter 9 that is for next week that we've seen. I don't know anything. I just hope that that isn't a real leak. Please don't be a real leak. Please be just a leak, a fails leak, like something that they like Gradibles had, like they create just leaking stuff that isn't real. Please be that. Please, please, please. I don't want to know anything. Please don't be a real leak. That will be pretty awful. And I have been going like through everything, like frame by frame. Is that I haven't doing exactly that, but it's similar enough to be quite dense. Like I have even checked and name and try to figure out what the heck are saying the folders that appears when Kinger gets into the computer of CNA. He gets into the folder CNA and and the carpet. I don't know. in the folder CNA, and he has to get into the folder characters to get into Kane's system and hack him or whatever. Well, before that, he has a lot of stuff to choose, and it's so much more than we can see. It's like it's just a fragment. We usually see a fragment in so much. We had the command, configuration, cookies, cursors, favorite, characters. That's where Kane's AI is. Forms, if I'm not wrong. Help, history, Java. I don't know how to pronounce that in English. Oh, Java. Media, MSAPs. I don't know how to call that. I don't know, emote. I will say it says myemote.sts, if I'm not wrong. And OC cache option, send to, start menu, system, temporary internet files. That's pretty awesome to know that he had small access to internet. So it's supposed to be temporary, it appears. I'm assuming all this is related to Kane's AI. That all this is something that it works, and that it works around it. That is all things that are working in the circus that can use constantly, like emote. It makes sense. He emotes a lot. Like the faces he makes, the dramatic effects, the cartoon effects he uses. He make emotes for it, and that makes sense. He can't be creating emotes from nothing, from scratch, to say it like that. And that's so perfect and barely glitching anything, and just uh eye candy to look at. Well, word view, accessor.grp, I don't know what the heck is that. ACC stat.x. I would say it's account. I would say it's account status. Makes sense. Something that I think says at limit. To spell it out is ADDLINBT dot reg. Like regular thing, regulation, I don't know. Something else that here's so much harder to read. And artisan.pbb, no, PUBUV, I don't know how to pronounce that. ATISERN dot PUBUV. Well, I think that's what it says. And I think that I believe it says avance dot xto x2 xto and s asp.x black whatever blue whatever bubbles dot bmp. So confusing because I know nothing about programmation. I know nothing about coding. Then is the AI and CNA neural scans that are obsolete. Like that's a precious information to have. There's the inside the AI there's two question marks folder of thingy executor or whatever, and Kane, which another AI, another virus I don't know. And here I just made an back to the past intermission of a death. That's my own language that won't probably be there. I like to slides there to showcase Kane eating bubble in the intermission and then for intermission time title, and I start speaking about the about the offices. That's a lot of information. I don't have all, but I got something. And we know Kinger's desk, probably Scratch's desk, and someone else's desk. Now I think about it, maybe that I will say that one of that the important desk might be maybe Queenie's. I like to think that that would be pretty nice, but I thought she wouldn't have a photo of her husband because King clearly has a photo of someone in his desk. If that is his desk, which I believe it is. I mean, photo of a person in a silly pose, and I believe inside the offices. I don't know. It's pretty confusing. It's inside a building. That's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's the graduation of someone. I don't know. And there's a butterfly. Right beside his computer. There's a CNA cup, and behind the CNA cup, there's a picture of a dog, and I believe that's pretty cool. Yeah, that makes sense, kind of. He's kind of a dog person, I believe. He's kind of a social person. I don't know. And there's the calendars that the Kinger says March, but another picture says January, and that's pretty weird. That's kind of weird. One would think that they do all these photos like the same day. They use just kind of when we need data to give Kate, and we want to take photos of the office. So I'm just gonna go around take some photos after work, and then I use them tomorrow. Not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a random photo now and that. No, no, it's apparently kind of weird. And there's a time of some photos that we know that is around 4. And I would say that it's most commonly 4:20 p.m. If you ask me, I don't have a lot to say about that. Um, here's making another sub team that I call the creation of a new world, the circus. That is incomplete. I was going to talk about Cain, about what Cain was fed, like the images he had been fed, and all things that have been referenced, like Gummy Goo being a reference of the alligator in the pool, in the pink pool, and the gummies, the worm gummies that he had been shown, and the candy and all that stuff, and like the mirror in the first chapter that kind of feels a lot, has the same vibe as the mask, as the drama mask, as these things that he has been shown, and etc 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 in the offices, and that clearly has a that has a chest, and that how he made those 2 pieces of chest, 3 actually. He made the tower, he made the queen, he made the he made the white king, he made a black queen, and he made a black tower, which is kind of interesting. And then I was going to talk about Queenie, her presence in the circus, and how she can create the circus. We know that King says a lot of times, Queenie, when Queenie is became the first scene of the second scene at the start of episode 8, chapter 8, we first see that there's a group surrounding Scratch that is kinda arguing, talking with Kane, and Kane is just like, whatever, I don't really care. I don't really understand you at all. It's kind of find this hilarious, I think. He's kind of think this might be a comic situation where he has to use that kind of face. And Kingsley just aside, like pretty far away, and then Queenie goes right next to him and question like, "Oh, you're a chess piece too. That's weird. That's kind of odd. And why should talk? Maybe you have something to do." But she doesn't speak with him like expecting him to be someone she knew. She would have made just the connection, just, oh, we both like chess. We have played chess together a lot of times, and I tend to be the black queen. He tends to be and I tend to be the black, and he tends to be white, and whatever. Because I think that they used to play chess pretty often, and they always choose the same sides as always. Whatever, I don't know. And they talk, and Kim says that we never made anything like this. But what did they make? Because they didn't make the circus. We know that. We saw Kinger making the circus not on command exactly. he made it by himself without getting any extra information from photos, visual cues, unless he got it from the second AI and he took like a command, something like that. And he's like, where I started to get dramatic and said, what was that they made? Create Kane, encarcerate Kane, create the circus. Here I gasped dramatically. Says I, the gasp. Make Kane commit cannibalism, which kind of makes sense now I think about it. Or maybe he's saying made this like, oh, we ingress the circus this way. This was a very freaking weird way to ingress the circus because we know they had to enter the brain into that, and it's pretty weird. Like, why would they need a brain? Why just don't use a normal VR or something more normal than just ingressing, than just scanning your brain and entering into and making a file and entering it into a simulation run by your AI that you made that randomly create a circus. I like now I like to think now that they they did encarcelate, they did trap Kane on purpose and made him watch the other eye, like waiting for something to happen. I like to think that they made something like that. Like, what if we made made our old AI watch this new AI get fed while the old AI is trapped? We'll do something, we'll do nothing. Maybe just like a random test, like to see if it had sentence or whatever. Just want to see how it will react to the other AI. Will be friendly, he will, and if it will attack. And that's why it broke so easily. The imprisonment. Why King was able to leave so easily. It didn't take so many tries. He just banged the walls, the the walls a few times. Like it wasn't even 10, maybe it was 5 times, with enough force to break them. But you shouldn't be able to do that. It's pretty weird. I don't I don't if I think if the developers want to do something really durable, they will actually make it like impossible. Like, can you can take this off, you can make disappear this because it is blocked. You're blocked. You can't create anything, you can't destroy anything. That's it. That easily. So I think it was maybe some kind of weird random experiment that they did to see how it would react, and then why did it make circus? So they by curiosity, because they were curious, like what the heck, why did they make a circus? Was it because it was one of the first images we painted? What we can maybe we can enter, maybe we could check what is doing there. So they enter. I like to think that Kinger entered first, which explains why he's kinda apart from the group. I like to think that Kinger just entered into it like very late into his job or whatever. He just entered and kinda went off, started off, I don't know, whatever, in the real world, like whatever happens to their bodies, because they aren't rotting to be exactly. But I'm starting to think that it kinda is, or they just lost it forever, whatever. So I think that Kinger was off by all day since he made that, and then his coworkers, I got scared by my cat, and then his coworkers just enter, like went to see what the heck was he on, then see there's something else in the circus, and they also want to check that, and it led to all of them being trapped there, searching for him. I don't think that Scratch was that King went with Scratch first, because why? Hey, makes sense. They two were pretty involved into this. but Kinger was the most involved. Kinger was the main creator, was the main developer. He got a few notes from scratch, but now think about it. I don't know why I have been thinking about all that part of the developer thing. It doesn't make all that much sense because it's kind of weird that mainly the pointers came from scratch. Like one was bringing more pointers from I don't know wherever everyone else. Like maybe Queenie was the developer and she kind of knows that he has a laptop with bugs or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe Queenie wasn't a developer. Maybe she was. Maybe those weren't developers, or maybe they were. I don't know. I can't tell. But it's pretty weird that they both had connect models. I mean, the chess pieces, checkmates. I love the checkmates. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute, but it kinda reminds me of the tragedy of Queenie abstracting, and she was the last one to abstract from Kinger's group. Like it's kind of tragic. Like checkmate being is being like that's being is losing, and she lost her life. To say it like that. So she narrowly lost her life. She's hunting the narrative in some way to say in some way. I'm pretty bad with words right now. It's almost 3 a.m. I was working this presentation and suddenly I realized so many things. I don't know. Um, Back to the thing I was saying about Queenie's presence in the circus. We know that Queenie's abstraction plus years of loneliness aren't the cause of his insanity. It came after. We don't know why. We don't know how. But I like to think it has something to do with chapter 9. Maybe something else happened with a later abstraction or abstraction later to Ragata's joining clearly, or to say like that previous to the series, previous when the series started, previous to Pommy's arrival, that something happened between Kinger and another member, that they got something pretty bad, and he kind of went insane by it, like getting for the knowledge. Maybe it happened with Kane. Maybe Kane had something to do with it. Or maybe just a side effect from being in the circus for too long. Like his spies actually corrupt and obsolete. Because AI is kinda in itself. That's something that I don't think I have seen people talk about, but I haven't seen looking for it too much. But AI clearly cannibalizes itself. And I thought that Kane was kind of going through that. I mean, it's been, I don't know, 20 years since he's been made. Yeah, it's been like, yeah, Kane exists, was made around in 93. Yeah, I have so much issues speaking right now. So, in the series is 2017. That's a long time. And he, I thought that in chapter 8, Aldestar, I just was thinking that Kane is capitalizing himself. Kane doesn't get more inputs. He barely has been getting any input to be serious. He barely gets any real feedback. So he's kind of canalizing himself for new ideas, and that's why his adventures are kind of made, kind of sloppy, and it's why he starts acting so weird in chapter 8, like that. He starts acting a bit more unhinged because there's nothing new, and he's been cannibalizing of his cartoonish acts for way too long. That's what I thought first, but then I realized it was all this, that it wasn't that exactly. It might be that too, but it was also all this crisis that he has been going, like, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing my purpose, which I want to talk about his purpose. I'll talk about that later. I wanted to talk about that earlier, but I kind of forgot. But he assigned his purpose to himself. his purpose is to create ideas, to give ideas. Is to make ideas, and that he didn't need to make adventure. He didn't need to create exactly. He didn't need to be artistic per se. He only had to be the idea guy, mostly. And he's kind of doing that. He doesn't have to make the humans happy, but he wants to make them happy. Well, mostly. The truth is, then at the end, he starts getting angry and frustrated and all those things. That I'll talk later. So much later. So, next sub-theme. The preparation of Cain, previously to the humans. Because people talk a lot about the scene of Kinger, just remembering that his circus name is Kinger. Like, he spends so much time alone, which I find a bit weird, honestly. Where King is just like alone, and I doubt that Cain didn't interact with Kinger a bit on that time. Like, he didn't try to make adventures or anything. I find that weird. So I don't think that but maybe he did. Cain doesn't tend to call circus members, the cast troupe, by their names. He just calls them as a group and calls them whatever nicknames, whatever affecting nicknames he decides to give them, like superstars, meow 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 milk mates, or whatever he decides to call them that time. So it makes sense. Like, he will be calling Kinger my superstar, my chess piece, my king, whatever. But he won't be calling by his circus name, so that will maybe add up to why Kane is Kinger is kinda lost at all. But it doesn't explain why he's lucid in the light. But whatever, we'll see that maybe in chapter 9. I won't stress about it that much. But people really talk about this phrase that Kane says. I had to make some more preparation for this amazing breakthrough, because he was kind of hoping that Newham would show up, but he wasn't sure about it. Okay, that makes sense. He can't know what's going on outside of the computer. He doesn't know why he must suddenly pop, and he doesn't know why they didn't pop more, why didn't appear more. Okay, so he's just preparing just in case. He made some preparations, and just in case, but what's some more preparations? Because we see that Ragta appears with her, the design we know her since she appeared, very much. That's it. I want to talk about the program that perfectly encapsulates their mind files. That thing exists since at least before Ragta, just a little before Ragta came into a circus, which is kinda weird. The program exists and it works, because she's treated like a rag doll by her mother. And we know that. We know that about her trauma, her whole thing about her controlling mother that controls him like she was a doll. That makes sense. She's thrown around a lot by Jax, and she's kind of very passive about it. So, but that will kind of imply that Kinger's and Queenie's avatar don't mean anything. Don't mean something yet. So that raises the question: how did they get that appearance? Did you just randomly get it? I doubt it. Kinger is the main creator, the main developer of Kane. He's probably Kane's creator, just like that. He's Kane's god, to say it like that. And he's a king. He has power. He has authority. I have so much issues speaking right now. It's almost 3 a.m. Actually, I've been for so long alone, whatever. So how did they get those avatars? How did they get those bodies? Did they just pick something that looked good enough and enter the circus? Why is Queenie literally a queen while King is a king? Why is that? Did Kane knew that Queenie was Kinger's beloved? I mean, they obviously didn't know how the other look in the circus. It took way too much time for them to realize each other's identity since the other group, obviously Scratch now noticed the rest aren't talking. Scratch is doing all the talking that we're seeing, at least with Kane. He's confronting Kane about something. Maybe the exit, most probably the exit. That's the first thing the humans want to look for. So, the other group was starting with Kane. It has been enough time for Scratch to start arguing with Kane, mostly, which doubt it will be happen because Scratch is very frustrated. So Scratch frustrates very quickly, which I would like to doubt. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think we don't know about Scratch that much. We don't know about his personality a lot. We only know that he's a mess. He's kind of a mess of a person. And I think that the desk with so much coffee on, and that is really organized in some way, strange way with a calculator is Scratch, and that can explain why he's kind of working. He's using the coffee to focus because he's abstract. He has to focus. He has to use this to focus on communicating with the rest of the team, or kind of communicating or getting his work done without messing things, without missing anything over or looking over whatever or something. It has been more than a few minutes since they arrived, and they just recognize each other. So I don't know what to think. Did they just enter without looking for Kinger? Maybe they just enter. Maybe they enter at different times. Kinger is alright. Maybe their birds are fine. Maybe you know. So back to where we were. Here we start pointing about the avatars because Scratch. What do we know about Scratch? We barely know anything about him. We know he's kinda abstract. He has a abstract thinking, and that he gave pointers about program about calling Kane to Kinger, and that's all we know about his personally wise. We know even less about the rest. What do we know about the rest? Practically nothing. We just giving them a circus name that we think it's their name, but are we even sure that's their name? I don't know. I don't think so. So how did it happen? Back to the I keep going so much over all the things. So the circus was driven by Kane after devouring the other eye, absorbing better will be said. The next thing we know is that the developers are in the circus. Did they just got in immediately after Kane made the circus? Did you just wait a while? Is how much time has been? I don't know. And then there's the chess piece thing that I say about. I think that King was placed as white and Cunha was placed as black in chess. And he just I get back to the code thing that I already know. Something like that. And now back to the show. Here actually go over the programming, the coding, the duration of game. I just want to go over all these layers that it has. And how I realized that there's so many references to previous chapters in this sequence, like a lot, extremely, pretty much. Where did I sell that? Yes, it was earlier. Where is it? What is it? Because I just know you saw it. Where is it? I just I just knew it. I just had it in my hands, in my head. I was pretty sure I put it in there. What is it? What is it not there? I guess search for it. Let's search for it. Search. I'll talk about information later. I was hacking like crazy, but that's a thing for another day. Where's the special salad? Where is it? Where is it? Yes, information. Uh, no, I can't find it. I can't find it. It's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. And I'm doing this. I really don't have anything better to do, right? So I'm going crazy. Huh, that's new. I was pretty sure I saw something that could change things. Ah, here. Yeah, error cannot inject torment. Torment must be 100% accidentally. That that's a reference. That's a reference to chapter 3, to episode 3. That's so amazing. Like, what the heck? I'll talk about it later. I'm tired. So, whatever. To anyone who's listening, good evening, good night. Ah, forgot. Morning, good evening, good night. Bye bye. So hey, I'm back again. I realized a little more things. Why is even the table text being referenced? Um, was even a table being referenced around in several episodes? Like, I'm going crazy. It's not. I went through over the pictures and started connecting them to the episodes, and it's starting to get so much deeper than what I thought. I'm going crazy. Actually, it's going so much. I started to think I need help. But anyway, back to the thing I was on. So, you know how I say that I was trying to think that Kinger went in first? Yeah, it seems I was correct. I just didn't check very well. I think I'm getting blind. Well, not really, but we know that Kinger got into circus into 96. It's not 99, it's 96. If I'm not wrong. That's weird. Like, pretty weird. Where's the image? Here. Date 1996 of 10 of 30 is October 30 of 96. That's almost Halloween. I just realized that now. It's kind of silly. I didn't realize that earlier. But that could kind of explain why there's some photos like of a fall festival, something going on, and when Kane is receiving data, is receiving input. And we also know that Scratch entered the circus so much later in comparison. Scratch entered the circus 3 years later. That point. So Kinger has been there for much longer than what I thought. But why has he been there like 15 days after King was created? Was that soon that King created this world? That's pretty crazy to think about. Where is it? I had it somewhere. Where's the root and the whole thing? I gotta search for it back. My gallery is so full of the series. Like, I've been taking so many screenshots, like way too many. This at this point is going to be like an obsession, and it kinda is at this point. Where is it? It's here. Scratch. Enter in the 99. So King has been there for way much longer. That's crazy. Do you understand the implication of this? So, Scratch probably got in with the rest of the team. Maybe Kinger went missing just randomly and couldn't find him. And that was why Queenie was so surprised to find Kinger there. Kinger went missing for 3 years. And that's why Queenie was so surprised. Like, she wasn't expecting to find her husband here. Like, it's you. And that kind of explains everything. That kind of explains things. It's so crazy. Why I didn't realize this earlier? My friend and I thought that Scratch and Kinger entered the same day, but they didn't. They didn't even enter the same year. There's so many differences. I'm going crazy. What else? What else can I say to you? Kinger and King have been in the circus for 21 years. I didn't expect King to be that old, honestly. I didn't expect King to be there for so long. I was expecting King to be there for less time. 19 years, 18, but not 21. That's a lot. That's way too much. And that's only accounting for the fact that Pomni got in 2017. Not even this year, not even 2026. That's so much time. I mean, Rita has been there for 9 years in the series, in the show. That's way too much already. But Kinger has been so much longer. It's crazy. Like, I was expecting King to have been there for 18 years. That's all. Not more. Just around that time. Maybe 19. You want to be creative something. But not 21 years. I just realized that. Really, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. I'm going crazy. Why was Kinger there? Why Kinger got in the circus 15 years after game was created. That's weird. That's odd. How do I interpret this? But yeah, that was mostly I'm working on making a presentation and documentation or something that I plan to release as soon as I can. That meaning probably today, tomorrow. The earlier I can, the better. Because the episode 9 is that apparently it's a real leak. I don't know, and please don't. Please be fake. Please, 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 please. Please. I'm so desperate. I don't want to get spoiled, and I think I'm very close to being spoiled. And it's not even time. It's not even, and it's next week that I have to see the movie. I'm so anxious. I'm so anxious, and I'm not ready. So yeah, I thought I was done, but I wasn't. So if you didn't see me, good morning, good evening, good night. See you later. Well, I hope I didn't. That's way too much time.